Well, let's go on and move on to our question of the week.
Question of the week.
I think you have brought that.
Yes. So someone emailed in a question?
Yeah. Email is gentstalkingcurrentevents@gmail.com. Simple.
Nice. We have an email now.
Wow.
Because everyone has to have an email. And what was the question?
You have the question. Oh, I have the question. Who has the question? It's, what is your biggest regret in life? That's a big one.
I would say my biggest regret is not listening to my dad. That's
just in general, or
just in general.
Why? What do you say?
Hell if I know, I wasn't listening.
What do you mean?
I wasn't listening. I wish I listened to him more. No, I'm joking around. I don't know. That's a tough question.
My biggest regret is using the AI to create this.
Biggest regret?
You know what? I'm not saying this because I don't want to say I don't know if I have one. Like, what is a biggest regret that I have? I don't know if I've lived my life long enough and made a big enough mistake yet to say that is like something that eats me up every time I go to sleep at night. If you say, what is your biggest regret in life? To me, instantly my brain goes, man, that must be something huge. Like, ridiculously big.
I would say I'm in the same situation because I'm comfortable where I'm at in life and I like where I'm at. And so everything that's happened in life, I'm not going to say that it happens for a reason, but I'm here, I'm fine. But I would say just maybe because having more time with maybe my daughter, which I've spent a lot of time with my daughter, but now she's 19 and in college and doing her own thing. So maybe that, would be, yeah.
Which time is just a very important thing. And you joked with me the other day at work. We're working the 7 to 3, the 9 to 5, the 7 to 3. And you just jokingly said, is this what we're supposed to be doing?
Right.
And I just said, I don't know. I've been doing everything everybody else is telling me to do.
Right.
I'm just following along.
In that sense, like maybe my regret is not, following some ideas back in the day, and here I am.
To that degree, same exact thing. I had my company, and COVID really messed it up. So COVID, I could say that COVID really messed it up. I probably could have pushed through it if I really had a desire to. If you had asked me, it would be not continuing to pursue my business that I had for 4 years, that I was able to buy my house with, buy my 2 cars with. Mm-hmm. That because what if? The what if is the biggest thing. Right. That's what makes the regret. What if I did something different? Or
you never really know.
Yeah,
what it would be like.
But once again, to your point, if I wouldn't have done that, if I wouldn't have ended the business and found a job and got into the regular 9 to 5 work and bounced between jobs, I wouldn't have exactly the life I have now, and I'm 100% okay with it. I'm more than ecstatic that I have the life that I have right now, even though I'm not making millions of dollars, which we all know I would have been.
Oh, of course. The porn industry was pretty good to you.
You never know.
Joking.
Could have been. Dang COVID.
COVID. 6 feet separation. Ruined it.
the 6 feet.
We'd still be sitting farther apart than we are right now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that I single-handedly can say that this point in time in my life I regret that, or that was the biggest regret. I think if I could change things, because I'm in a much more comfortable spot in my life right now. Like I really am.
I think we'll all have
yeah. I think I regret worrying about things I didn't need to worry about. That doesn't even matter what it was. It could have been something simple in high school, could have been worries I had about my first job, could have been the worries when I, first night I moved into my first house I bought when I was 21 years old. I was worried. I just worried about everything, and I wish you could have found a way to
turn
that down, because it didn't really matter.
Because even if someone told you, don't worry, it's gonna be okay, you're still worried.
Because one of the things I think I use as an example, and this is something that happened recently, we were talking about Luca before we got on here about golf, kids becoming a phenomenal golfer.
Luca is his son.
And yeah, Luca's my son. And he's 17 years old, he's playing a lot of these junior golf tournaments, but I feel like when he finishes playing like 9 holes, and if he's like even par, 1 over par, 2 over par, he might be thinking in his head, I missed this birdie putt, or I didn't do something I should have. And I always just say, when we're walking maybe to the 10th tee box, I'm like, hey, if somebody said you'd come in here and you'd skip the front 9 and they'd give you an automatic 37, would you just go right to the 10th tee box and be fine with that because that's a great number? And he'd be like, yeah. And I'm like, okay.
Then you're happy with it.
That's good and done. Let's go over here and turn this one on.
Because you never could know what would have happened if you played the first 9.
Right. So meaning it could have been worse. But you're here and you would have taken that number if somebody just gave it to you. So be happy with it. Maybe you missed those 2 putts. Maybe you didn't make that eagle putt. But let's move on and let's play golf over here because you got you're rolling. And I think that it's not like I wouldn't have done this or I wouldn't have done this or to change jobs. But I just think if I could have worried less about things,
just typical things,
about family, about friends, about being a dad, because a lot of those things I try to.
And we worry about the future a lot.
And you worry about what's still coming.
Which is funny that you mentioned that. I would have always told myself in high school, while I was briefly in college, while I was starting the business, I did not have a lot of worry. Like, little worry. I was very present with everything that I was doing. But nowadays, now that I am married, I have a son, I have a house.
Sure.
It's definitely creeping up more. You know what I mean? Which is just great advice.
And honestly, forget the example about the front 9 for Luca. I mean, this is kind of getting deep here because it just hit me. But if somebody would have walked up to me and said, hey, I'm going to fast forward to you. You're going to be 52 years old. You're going to have a beautiful 17-year-old son who's super talented and loves you. And you got a cool brother and great nephews.
Oh, of course.
And you're surrounded by a family.
Yeah.
And you're living in a house that you can put a cigar room in.
And making X income.
Would you just take it? Like, would you say, hey, that's going to, I would take that.
Actually, Lindsay and I talk about that a lot. That
that would be good.
The 22-year-old me would be like, "Whoa, that's awesome."
Like you're gonna be like, I'm gonna get there. Like I'll get there. You're telling me if I show up there, that's how.
If I show up to life, if I just do the life.
Yeah, like that's where it's gonna turn out for me. I'd be like, sure, like Luca, I'll take that 37 and I'll move on. Because it might not have got any better. Now it could have smidgen here, there. Maybe made a couple of adjustments, but
how can you not be happy?
Right.
When it could be so much different.
When the 22-year-old you would be ecstatic to have this life. Right. Yeah. That's
and
true.
I think that people sometimes put just so much pressure. Like they put so much pressure on themselves without realizing how massively it affects them.
And that goes to the whole social media thing. Because years ago, people did not see what everyone was doing. Or they would just hear that so-and-so went on a vacation. But now you see all the pictures, and then someone's like, oh, why aren't we going on a vacation? They went on 2 vacations this year. Why aren't we?
100%.
Or they have this house, or they're buying this car. Or,
I have a buddy that when he goes on vacation, he saves dozens of pictures from different scenarios on his vacation, and he just kind of reposts them every 2 months, so it looks like he's traveling all year long.
Oh my goodness! Is it you?
That is something I would do.
But to that point, when after we closed the business, I think I went into roofing, and then I went into roofing sales, and then I went into car sales, and then I went into insurance. And the roofing was very brief. The roofing sales was maybe 6 months. Then I did car sales for 1.5 years. Then we had our son, which was traumatic, so I stopped working for 3 months. Then I went into insurance for 1 year, 1.5 years. And I remember, which we worked together, my last job, I got the advice, I'm like, I'm switching too much. I'm doing too much. I'm not creating a career. And someone just gave me this simple advice that calmed me down. And he goes, how old are you? I was like, I think I was 28. Or I think the day I accepted the job, I just turned 28. I'm 29 now. He's like, you have so much ahead of you. You have so many years ahead of you. And he said, I wish someone would have told me that. Which, I mean, he's very well off. He's very high in the company he's in because he's been working with them for so long. But he just said, you have so much more life to live. You don't have to worry about a career right now. Which I wish people would tell kids that when they're 18. Hey, look, if you go to college, if you don't go to college, the decision you make is not the final one.
Well, it's like, I don't know what age, but like the majority of Warren Buffett's wealth has come late. Like he's how old?
Is he 90?
Yeah. But it was like most of his wealth was after 50, maybe 60. Like, you know.
It wasn't like he had it the whole time.
Yeah. It's like, here I am 48 and I'm thinking, I should be farther along or whatever. But no, I mean, like, you can start and rechange and do it at any time. So that's...
Did you say what yours was?
It was just more maybe just time management.
Oh.
Which I think everybody can say.
Because I work a lot. And I've always worked a lot. Since what? We worked since we were like 12.
Yeah. Growing up on the farm and stuff.
Just always working, so... But it's hard to...
I mean, I work a lot right now. I put my 40 hours in and I probably work about 10 hours every week. But I'm actively trying to progress my life past this point so that way later on I can have a little bit more of that freedom. I can have a little bit more wiggle room. I cannot live I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, but paycheck to paycheck. You know what I mean? It's...
Right.
So, yeah, I have the time, I have the ability, now I might as well. You know what I mean? So, well, I think this was a fantastic conversation, a fantastic first episode. Thank you, Joe, for hosting us. This will be a weekly thing. I expect the bourbon, or at least my diet fizzy soda.
I'll try not to get the watered down stuff.
Yeah. I expect the bourbon, the cigars, the beautiful room, the couch. Paul, I expect you to have better topics next time.
Yes.
Be better prepared.
But that reminds me, did I ever tell you of why I got divorced from my first marriage?
No. I mean, no.
I mean, you guys should know, but I'll tell you again. So I woke up on my birthday and saw my wife, and at the time, obviously, I said we were divorced. And she didn't say happy birthday or anything. And I was like, what the heck? So I go to work, and all my coworkers, no one says anything. And we usually make a big deal about it at work, and nothing. And before I even left the house, I went out to my truck to get in my truck, and I saw the neighbor, and the neighbor's birthday was the day before, and he knows my birthday is that day, and I said happy birthday to him, and he didn't say happy birthday to me, and I was like, what the heck?
Wait,
so
this seriously happened?
Yeah, so no one's saying happy birthday to me. So
I feel so bad.
I'm at work.
When's your birthday?
This was years ago, of course. And the secretary, she calls me in the office, she's like, hey, we need to talk, and so I go in there, and she's like, hey, happy birthday, and she hands me a cupcake. I'm like, oh, that's very nice of you. And then she's like, I'm wrapping some stuff up here, you want to go to lunch? And I'm like, sure, why not? Let's go to lunch. So we go to lunch, and we're having a nice time and a couple drinks, and she's like, hey, I have a surprise for you. You want to come back to my apartment? I'm like, wow. My wife and I aren't doing so great, so, what the heck? So I go back to her apartment, and we go in, and she's like, yeah, give me a minute, I gotta go freshen up, and she goes into her bedroom. So I'm like, oh, hey, why not? And so 5 minutes later, like she said, she comes back out, and right behind her is my wife, all my coworkers, the neighbor, family, and there I am sitting on the couch naked.
It was a surprise birthday party?
Yeah! Oh, that was the surprise.
He was in his birthday suit, though.
Yeah, no coming back from that.
Downhill from there. That's your biggest regret.
No, but the second marriage is where it's at, so I'm good now.
Good. So make sure that if she forgets your birthday, just give her at least 3 days to come back from it.